Okay, as indicated previously, I'm a Bernie Sanders supporter, so I drunk his Kool-Aid, and I'm willing to take another swig. Is this the first potential nail in the Hillary Clinton coffin? Uh, they, a special investigation was conducted, and it has found that Hillary Clinton has violated the email rules, not law, but rules regarding the use and storage of government emails. Now, there is yet to come the report from the FBI investigation, and that, my friends, is a criminal investigation. You can try to spin that any way you want, but the FBI gets involved in crime, not just a cursory, I want to take a look-see at something. This could turn into something else.
Private email server, a State Department audit found that Hillary Clinton violated federal records rules through the use of a private email server while she was Secretary of State. The 83-page report concluded, at a minimum, Secretary Clinton should have surrendered all emails dealing with department issues before leaving government service. Because she did not do so, she did not comply with the State Department's policies that were implemented in accordance with the Federal Records Act. Shortly after the report was released, RNC Chair Reince Priebus tweeted in response, quote, "The stakes are too high to entrust the White House to someone with as much poor judgment and reckless disregard for the law as Hillary Clinton." Let's turn to NBC's Kristen Welker, who's following the Clinton campaign from Buena Park, California today. And Kristen, what are we hearing out of the Clinton campaign about all this?
Okay, real quick on that Reince Priebus email. The same thing could be said for Trump. Trump wanted to kill the families of terrorists or suspected terrorists, which is a direct violation of the Geneva Conference. Okay, and he wants to do all kinds of other illegal things. He claims that he can order troops to take actions that are illegal. And I mean, you talk about poor judgment, and then we're not even going to get into the nuclear weapons that he wants to see proliferate in South Korea and Japan. He's not against dropping a nuclear bomb in Europe and I can't even imagine any reason to drop a nuclear bomb in Europe. And he wants to get out of NATO. I mean, this guy, you're talking about poor judgment. Reince Priebus should have reworded that a different way, because what he just said absolutely would apply to Donald Trump.
Well, I can tell you, Kate, that as soon as Secretary Clinton's event wrapped up, reporters rushed to what we call the rope line to try to shout questions at her about the State Department Inspector General's findings. She didn't answer any of our questions. To be fair, the music was quite loud, so it's not clear how many of those specific questions she heard. Bottom line, she's not talking about this today. Instead, we are getting an official statement from her campaign. I'm going to read you a little part of that statement. It's from Brian Fallon, who says the Inspector General documents show just how consistent her email practices were with those of other secretaries and senior officials at the State Department who also use personal email. It goes on to say, contrary to the false theories advanced for some time now, the report notes that her use of personal email was known to officials within the department during her tenure, and that there is no evidence of any successful breach of the secretary's server. Now, of course,
that press release sucks. What she's trying to do, and what she always does, is she's falling and using the line, well, everybody else did it, so I did it too. That's no excuse. If you violated rules, you violated rules. That's just the bottom line on this thing. And now for her to claim, and I hope they're right, that there was no breach of her server, and all indications seem to point to the fact that her server wasn't violated. But just because other people knew that she was making use of her personal email, that in itself is no excuse. She knew better. She knew she wasn't supposed to do it, but she did it anyway.
Kate, this comes at a difficult time for Secretary Clinton. She's trying to clinch the nomination, campaigning vigorously here in California. She needs to win this state, not so much for the math. She's got a huge delegate lead, but for the momentum and for the optics. She wants to head into the convention on strong footing. Now, Bernie Sanders has never really made an issue of her use of a personal email server, but of course, Donald Trump has, as Katie Tur was just discussing, and of course, this only adds fuel to the fire. Her strategy there to try to pivot away from this issue, focus on Donald Trump. You heard that in her remarks here today when she tried to slam him for his divisive comments and those controversial comments that he made during the housing crisis. But at some point, she's going to have to answer tough questions about this report. Kate?
All right, Kristen Welker, thanks so much. And let's turn now to the other side of the Democrat.
All right, so she's got issues, and that little press release that they issued, that damn sure is not going to cover it. So they're going to probably take at least 12 hours to formalize a strategy to answer that report. But I really can't see what they're going to be able to say in order to counter that. And Trump's going to be all over this thing.